Hello and welcome. If you're wondering whether you can melt silver or any other metals into a burnout furnace using graphite or whatever, well, this is the video for you. Or should you, however, stick to, the regular furnaces? Well, I'll cover these topics and more. Here we go. Now, hello and welcome. As you guys can see, I'm John RMS, otherwise known as AceBullion, the creator of lots of lovely pieces of silver. And if you're watching this video, you're either one of a couple of categories. Either one, you're a regular subscriber, and this may be a bit new to you, so don't fret. This is one of those kind of interesting educational videos. Or number two, going right down to the point, you're probably wondering, can you actually use a burnout furnace to melt beautiful silver into ingots? Well, we're going to find out. Now, you've seen the introduction, little clip it. I've only just made that really quickly. Apologies for the audio, and apologies through the audio for some of this as we go along, but I will explain where we go. So, first things first, let's see how naive I really was. That might be a clue. Here we go. Alrighty then. So if you're watching this, you're watching something that I've never done before, and it's a unique type of pour. Now this is my brand new, very, very large furnace. And well, unlike my pouring furnaces over there, well, this is a bit unique. This has, in principle, a theory to melt silver. So I'm going to try 4 molds. Now, what are the benefits? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Here we go. Okay, so what are the benefits? Well, assuming all goes well, I have the temperature set to 1100 degrees Celsius. And if all goes well and nothing pours over and spills, then in less than 1 hour, all of those molds, and potentially a lot more, could be made into, obviously, the bars and shapes all at once. Now, I could have opted just to do one, but I thought, well, if I'm going to fire up this thing, I might as well give it my all and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Already, we're up to 40 degrees really quick, and it's going to rise really, really fast. Yeah, I can start feeling the heat. It was actually in the minuses, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So it's freezing in here at the moment, and I'm super, super excited, as you can tell. So here we go, folks. So playing those two back to back, I was not only naive, but I also had high hopes. And getting a brand new, burnout furnace for lost wax casting, I thought, hey, at 1200 degrees, the maximum temperature of that furnace, perhaps I could actually I can actually pour, if you wish, or non-pour, some silver, which is, well, in part of that video, you're going to see one of these, and it's a 3D Ace of Spades with skull. It's absolutely a beautiful piece, if I do say so myself. And you'll also see me trying to do as well a pair of bees. Now, going on to it, what actually happens? Well, this is the moment of truth. Just, as everything's about to happen. We're at 1100 degrees, and well, you could tell how excited I get because I'm ready to open up the door, and well, then this happened. On the second part, I actually had to cut off the audio because, well, I may have said a naughty word. Yeah, hold on. Right, so my project is, well, we're up to full temperature. We're at 1100 degrees. That's where I needed it to be. And I haven't opened up anything yet, so I'm going to open it up. I'm not going to film it on camera because I need, lots of hands and everything else. But this should be the moment of truth. Everything that I put in there should be melted. So let's find out. So there it is. We had essentially what looked to be like boiling silver. And, well, that kind of surprised me considering, well, silver doesn't boil until it's over 2000 degrees Celsius. And I'm only running at 1100 degrees. So it was just really, really baffling, to find this. Now, I'm going to show you the molds because I know a lot of the comments that I've read on many forums will state that you're going to just destroy your graphite molds, straight away, or it may only last 1 or 2 times. So I'm going to tell you if that's a true myth or if it's, well, just a bunch of hogwash. And secondly, I'm going to show you the actual outcome. So we know here, as I said, these were at least 2 of the types that I was trying to pour. So I'll put these aside. Of course, we're doing lost wax casting. I've waxed that. I've waxed this. And by the way, a shameful plug, if you do like what you see and you want to buy anything, check out AceBullion.com or AceBullion.co.uk. I am in the UK. All of these are hallmarked, so they are sent in by the Edinburgh Assay Office and have a legal hallmark by the Edinburgh Assay Office. So, yeah, and these are just some hand pours using the electric, one of the electric furnaces that, well, I'll send you a quick, well, you've seen anyway, so we won't bother you with that. So here's the thing. These were the 2 that I've attempted to pour. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring over those graphite molds. And, well, are there any damages? Well, kind of, yes. And I don't recommend anyone does this because, well, at the beginning of the video, you probably have seen a warning, do not try this at home. And the reason being is that, 1, these things should not glow at that temperature. In fact, graphite starts burning at about 650 degrees Celsius or 1,202 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, fine. So why am I pouring molten silver in, when I'm, let's say, doing this, which was this was actually a hand poured using that mold, a silver piece. Well, with my electric furnaces, I like to give myself a little bit of time. I used to have it all the way up to like 1,150. I since toned it down. I'll probably tone it down again. But 1100 seems to work for me for hand pouring the silver into graphite. Trying the Burnout furnace to see whether or not I could fill it up with both silver coins. Pure. I say silver coins. These are pure bullion. That's a Britannia, for instance. I think they might all be Britannias. But yeah, they're all 999 fine silvers. You can clearly see there. So I filled some of those up with pure silver. I've also filled some of them up with pure silver shot. I wanted to give things a go. Ironically, the same result happened on all of them, regardless of silver shot or if I was using pours. And it formed a boiling mark, as you can see there. Now you would see when it was pouring and boiling away. This will clean off. I'm okay with that. Getting the graphite hands. Has it actually damaged the molds? No, I'm quite fortunate. But over longevity, long term, whatever, yes, it would destroy your molds. You would only get, if you're lucky to even get this right, which I'm about to show you the outcome, maybe only about 5 pores, 10 if you're extremely lucky, but then you're risking damaging your furnace. Not something you want to be doing. So, what was the end result? Well, the one that was in this mold here that should look like this, okay? This is the one that you could see in the furnace boiling. Yep, that's right. That's all silver bubbled up, popping, just as I ended that video clip. And are you ready for the other side? Now, what I don't understand is how would those craters be formed when there's no craters on the graphite? Again, this is pure silver. One would have assumed already, because there's no contaminants, there's nothing, involved with it, it wouldn't be boiling over. Or, well, it didn't boil over, it kind of just boiled. The other interesting fact that I found whilst we're looking at these things, okay, this should be the bumblebee here, okay? Look at that. Just totally different. I mean, again, you can see where it had boiled compared to, I guess, having a nice finish here from when it was poured. But yeah, it is very, very odd indeed. And then my ace round here, well, this was the top side, so that came out okay. But there it is there. You can make out the letter E, but and finally the super wasp. I'm not sure which way this thing is, up or down. It is radical. It just looks insane. It's all craters. And yeah, it hasn't worked. So what have I learned from this, and what am I going to advise? Well, first off, you cannot use a burnout furnace you can't stuff these full of silver and expect the silver, first off, to flow into all the right areas. That's not going to happen. Silver has a tendency to clump together, very similar to a polymer. They just kind of grasp hold of each other, and they work as a very tight bond. You'll know this if you've ever attempted to melt silver with, let's say, a propane or oxyacetylene torch, where you'll start off with, let's say, a couple of rounds. You're using just a small ceramic crucible with some borax, and it'll turn into a bead. Yep. So that's essentially what's going to happen here if you're trying to fill the voids in a graphite mold. It's just not possible. It's never going to happen. Secondly, you're just not able to control any of the details or anything else. The boiling issue, this kind of pitting and craters, that astonishes me. Silver should not be boiling, and I say boiling, it's probably the wrong term, at all. But yeah, you can see that again in the video. And this is as it was cooling, it was boiling, and it was really cool to watch. I didn't film it because at the time I was more safety conscious than anything else. And again, I recommend you do not try this at home, because one, you're risking an explosion of the graphite itself. Two, you're risking popping of the silver coming out at you. And three, it's just going to be an expensive cost. Luckily for me, I'm able to salvage, these pieces. They will be made into art, fear not. And my molds are okay. I'm still able to carry on with them. In some cases, I do have multiples and have the capability to make some more, so that's okay. But for this experiment, I wanted to, answer the age-old question: can you actually melt, any kind of metals really in a burnout furnace? Well, yes, but it's going to turn out to be in a blob. And it's also going to be rather unsafe. The only one video that I have seen, and I am really against this, is they took a graphite crucible itself. It's very similar to what we use in an electric furnace. And they put that in, filled it with silver or some other metal. I can't remember what it was. I think it was copper, actually. And they heated it up, took it out, and then poured it. In fact, it was copper, so that's what it was. And then they poured it. So are you saving yourself any time or effort by using a burnout furnace? No, you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your effort, and you're potentially causing a safety risk. So please do not try this at home. It really is something that you should be avoiding. I recommend that you stick to an electric furnace or some type of torch with fire brick setup. Again, make sure that you have all the right PPE available to you. And well, I hope you found something useful here. If you have, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below, because, well, it really does help. And if you really found it useful, yeah, shoot me over one of those super like things. Thank you for watching, everyone. From AceBullion, be safe. Bye for now.